Hello, dear mentors. Welcome to Meeting 1, Deductions, October 9th. This is the first meeting of the year, first meeting of the quarter for our students. And this is the teaching guide, so you probably already started reading about it. Here's the room distribution. Car gonna be in NS2 1201. Lathrop, just for this week, will be in Engineering Hall 2430, so it's colloquia. Then they'll move to another room next week, like in week 3. And Villa will be in ALP 2200, which is the same room for coaching, right? Okay, so let's talk a little bit about these meetings. First meeting of the quarter, we'll practice logical reasoning with the students, and in particular, solutions to systems given partial information. So we'll talk a little more later. And a key thing is that you'll be commentating, hopefully, so teaching with more than one people. And it's not the same as just splitting the teaching, but it's more about connecting with your mentor, adding to what the other said, supporting when there's some struggle, asking key questions, or holding a conversation. So it's not that just two teachers independently teaching, but more like in a very nice dynamic where you support each other, take good turns, but in a nice way. So we have two parts. First, we'll do Get in Shape, which is all about getting to know the students. So we'll have some presentations. Then we'll talk about our pledge. And finally, we'll do some shape puzzles. And then part 2, after the break, we'll be doing Picas y Fijas, which is a mastermind game. First with a warm-up and then do the full play. So again, the teaching manual, the teaching guide has lots of tips throughout. Here are the mathematical goals real quick. So you can have in your mind two big things. First, solutions to systems in general. Think about that in terms of math. So let's solutions to these systems, give non-solutions and justify why. And also a little bit of counting. So it will depend on how your students are getting this, but luckily you can push them into these directions, counting solutions, more sophisticated than just discovering one. Without necessarily listing them, but more maybe using diagrams or abstract thinking. And then ranking sequences. So given a pool of options, if we're told how many to choose, so my best, second best, third best, etc., we'll count how many lists we can make. And then again, using logical thinking. So this relates also to part 1, because it's kind of a system. Use logical thinking and trial and error to get a ranking sequence when we play these Picas y Fijas. We also have some enrichment goals, which you can read about it. For commentating, we also have another video that explains a little bit about the concept and our philosophy on commentating. It's not going to be necessarily easy the first time, so you get better. But hopefully in coaching, you already have communicated a lot with your mentor, with your commenter. So the first part, Getting Shape, has 3 big parts. First, it's all about presentations. And you can read a little bit about here. And in that part of presentations, we go a little bit beyond and actually play a repollo game. And there's going to be a video about this to really get more deep. So it's a nice icebreaker in which students ask and answer different questions by passing a repollo made of paper. That's a good dynamics. Then we'll have our pledge. So that's very short, but it's the expectations at MathCEO. And this is our pledge. We'll have these 5 important things: respect personal space, show respect, stay on task, only use markers and tools for math, and stay safe during the breaks. So it's important to convey this information. And the last part in Getting Shape, it's number 3, shape puzzles, which look like this. Again, we'll do a video. We'll have a video for that. You have these fancy, weird cards, and students will be looking for solutions to inequalities somehow. So here we would be looking for a card that has exactly one different thing from this. So what are these things we're talking about? We're talking about the shape, we're talking about the color, and we're talking about the feeling, and the number. So for example, this You could tell this card by 3. You have 3. The color is red. The shape is this kidney or squiggly. And the feeling is just not feel, right? So here would be 1, green, oval, and partial filling or shaded, however you want to call it. And so these are nice logical puzzles, and they'll be done in teams. So it's all about competing, but also bonding with your very small team. So hopefully 2 or 3 teams with 2 or 3 students each. You don't have to complete all levels, so it's fine if you only get maybe to the first level. It will depend on how much you go far, but it's more quality than quantity. And we also have some star challenges throughout during this activity, in which we make students keep sharing things along the meeting. So that's part 1, getting shape, which is here. So it's about 30 minutes. And then after the break, there'll be an announcement from education department. We'll play Picas y Fijas. Let's talk a little bit about Picas y Fijas. So you've probably maybe played this game before as a mastermind. It's again in teams, and students on a team will secretly pick a sequence that's ranking some choices that are called the life acts. So globally, they agree on what are the 4 things they care the most and in which order. So they could say first, number 6, volunteering, then playing sports, then learning math, science, and finally watching TV. So there's a bit of a good discussion because it's a collective choice there, not individual. And then they'll have the secret ranking, and the other team will guess. So if the secret ranking is 4, 5, 7, 9, and the team guesses 4, 7, 9, 5, they guess 1 correctly and in the order, and that's what we call fija. So we have 1 fija, and they guess 2 numbers in incorrect order. The team doesn't tell which is the order, right? And which is the number. They just say 2 picas. So 2 numbers that are there, but in incorrect order. And they keep guessing. So it's a trial and error, but with strategy, right? With logic. And that's the logical game. So that's about the meeting. Make sure that you also read the student workbook, because that gives you a better visual on what the students are actually getting. And we always include it at the end of the teaching guide. So here it has the pledge, it has these puzzles, and it also will have this introduction to Picas y Fijas plus the life acts. So that's pretty much the meeting. Hope you enjoyed. Please watch the other videos as well. See you.